Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? NFL owners meetings going on down in Palm Beach. That's where we find Ross Jackson of LouisianaSports.net. Hopped on the flight, went down to Florida, and good enough to be with us now. How are you, man?
Hey, buddy, doing great. But not a lot to complain about here in Palm Beach, Florida.
I'd imagine. Maybe you understand why people make that a permanent residence, yeah?
Yeah, I get it.
Sure. It charts. It plays. Okay, so you're getting to know Kellen Moore a little bit. He met with reporters for about 45 minutes today? Is that about right?
Yeah, just about. It's a little bit over 30.
Okay. Biggest takeaway from meeting with the Saints coach today?
Well, one of the big things, kind of newsworthy, is that the Saints will have training camp back in Metairie this year. That was a big point of contention for a lot of fans that are kind of in the area. Didn't get an opportunity to see the team last year as they were undergoing renovations over at their facility. And then, of course, they weren't able to open up practices out on the West Coast. That doesn't sound like that's going to be hopefully not an issue going into 2025 here, as the Saints will be back home in Metairie for training camp. And then, of course, continued working on the quarterback position as well when it comes to, Derek Carr as a starter. But the team being really clear, or Kellen Moore at least being really clear, that they want to have their backup quarterback dedicated and ready before the season starts. Is the big change from what they did last year.
Of course. So you had Jake Haener and Spencer Rattler battling it out last year and then through the season as well. So, Ross, dig a little deeper there. What does that mean for those two guys, and maybe in particular who they might bring in as well?
Yeah, I think that it makes training camp as well as OTAs, preseason, very important for them. But then also, more importantly, once that quarterback is declared, whoever that is, they'll be prepared throughout the season like a backup quarterback. Instead of those snaps for the non-starter, which are already very limited, being split across two quarterbacks like Dennis Allen's approach last year with the team with Spencer Rattler and Jake Haener, there would be a focus on making sure that backup quarterback gets those reps, the wealth of those reps that are, non-starter reps, and that player is therefore and thereby ready, and that there's no question when it comes to the potential of who you turn to if there's an injury at the starter or to the starter or anything like that. I think it's just going to make things and kind of play a little bit better for the odds of that backup quarterback finding success should they be called into action.
Do you think they're in line to draft a quarterback in this month's draft?
They continue to be very active with quarterbacks, and I wouldn't rule out the possibility of it. Look, Kellen Moore said that they are continuing to do their homework. He also mentioned that every NFL team does their homework at that position. Obviously, it's the most important position in football. Some say it's most important in sports. I wouldn't rule it out. It doesn't have to be at 9. It could be a third-round quarterback or a fourth-round quarterback. I think they have 2 picks in each of those rounds and therefore have a lot of flexibility there. They have a top 30 visit coming, according to John Hendricks over at Athlon, when it comes to Quinn Ewers, the Texas Longhorns quarterback, and they've been connected to him quite a bit. They were connected to him with this. They're connected to him during the Combine, and they were also connected to him by having dinner with him the Monday before his Tuesday pro day over in Austin. So a lot of attention going to him. Kellen Moore was personally present at Ole Miss for their pro day to see Jackson Dart. Scott Tolzien did a private workout with Kyle McCord of the Syracuse Orange. There's a lot of those opportunities that they've taken here to look at the quarterback position, and an investment there wouldn't be surprising at this point.
And Ross Jackson's our guest. He's down in Florida at the NFL owners meetings. Let me throw a hypothetical, because coaches love answering hypotheticals. You're not a coach, so you can answer it. Let's say they draft a quarterback. So you got Carr under contract, you draft a quarterback, and then you got the other two, Haener, Rattler. You're not keeping all 4, so what do you do?
Yeah, and I think, and keep in mind, too, they also have Ben DiNucci on the roster as well. So actually, they have 5 going into mini camps and things like that. I think the writing is already on the wall for Ben DiNucci, but certainly we'll see. Veteran quarterback, yes, but obviously they've put a lot of investment into these young guys. And then I think outside of that, you start to look and see if either one of those other 2 younger quarterbacks, Spencer Rattler or Jake Haener, can potentially bring you something in the trade market. And if you get an opportunity to move one of them to a different team and return yourself some value, I think you absolutely do that. I think you wait, though, as long as you can, which maybe doesn't go all the way into training camp, but certainly through like rookie mini camps and mandatory mini camps, OTAs, no rush around all that. But probably before training camp, maybe look to make a move with one of those young guys.
Ross Jackson, of course, LouisianaSports.net, Locked On Saints podcast. Aside from camp and the quarterback situation, any other high points from Kellen Moore today?
Yeah, I think I had a great I took something really great away from him when he was talking about positional value. This year's draft, there's a lot of players that are considered potential first rounders that are what we would call non-premium positions, those positions that don't touch the football a ton. Linebacker, tight end. I mean, running back touches the ball a lot, but I think that injury history and risk have kind of knocked that down from being a premier position or considered a premium position. And so they kind of get looked at as these spots that are not first round worthy. And I kind of like the way that Kellen Moore looked at it. He cares more about the overall impact that a player can have as opposed to the position where he's going to have that impact. And so as the New Orleans Saints sit with a top 10 selection at 9 and have the opportunity to potentially take a top 10 tight end or take a top 10 safety or a top 10 linebacker or a top 10 running back, I don't think they're going to shy away from that if they believe that that player, like, I don't know, Matt, maybe an Ashton Ginty out of Boise State.
Stop it. That's Ross Jackson. Great to visit. Get out of here. Hang up on him quickly.
Good, man. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. But, no, I thought that was a great way for him to look at it in terms of, look, we care about the impact of a player as opposed to where he's having that impact. So just an interesting tidbit there that maybe primes the Saints to do something that's not necessarily at a premium position, but in a way to treat that player like a premier player in their system.
There's a lot of stuff up at LouisianaSports.net. Ross's takeaways, a piece about quarterbacks, then more on positional value there, all coming shortly. It's all free over at LouisianaSports.net. Of course, you can listen to Ross Locked On Saints or watch on YouTube or however you get your podcast. Okay, man, appreciate it. Safe travels. Thanks for jumping aboard.
Of course, buddy. Talk to you soon. Take care. Stay safe.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.